Hello children. Today we will discuss third chapter of science. The name of the chapter is plants. So before we start the chapter, I have a question for you, and that is, can you imagine the world without plants? Or is life possible without plants? Think about it. The answer would be a simple no. Why? Because if there would be no plants, there would be no oxygen, no food, no fruits, and no flowers. So now we know that plants are very important for human beings and other animals in this world. So let's start the chapter. Now we'll start with a brief introduction. What plants are, as we already know, the plants provide us with food, oxygen, which is necessary for the survival of human beings. Parts of a plant. A plant is mainly divided into two parts, the roots and the shoot system. The root is the part which lies below the ground or under the soil, and the shoot system, it lies above the ground. It consists of stem, leaf, flowers, fruits, etc. We start with roots. Roots are one of the most important parts of the plant, and they are present under the soil. They have various functions to perform, like they absorb the nutrients and water from the soil and transport them to other parts of the plant through stem. Now we can understand it through an example. All of us must be having some pots in our home, flower pots. In Hindi we call it gamla. So what we do in that? We pour the water in the soil because the soil is the only part from where the nutrients and the water is absorbed by the plants, and this is done through roots. Next function is they attach the plant to the ground, they hold the soil and also store food. Roots are mainly of two types, taproot and fibrous root. Now what is taproot? Taproot is a thick main root of the plant which is attached to the stem. You can see here in the diagram itself, it's a main root. Now it has some smaller roots which are growing from its side. And the taproot, it grows downward into the ground. Example of taproot is carrot, beetroot, turnip, etc. Next is fibrous root. Now, in case of fibrous root, there is not a single root. There are many roots of the same size and that break off into small lateral roots. In the case of taproot, it was a single root and many smaller roots, they arise from that its sides. But in the case of fibrous root, many roots arise from the same point of the same size and there is no main root. The small lateral roots, they cling to the soil and they hence prevent the soil from being eroded away. These roots, they do not go deeper under the ground. Example of these roots are onion and grass. Now, functions of roots. We have already discussed in brief. Let us discuss the functions in detail. Now, the number one function is that roots attach the plant to the ground. It is very important because roots only provide the substrate so that the plant can stand. It provides the support to the plant. It helps in holding the plants firmly in the ground. They absorb nutrients and water from the soil and then transport it to the stem. Roots hold the soil in a place so that it does not get washed away during heavy rains, floods, etc., and hence prevent soil erosion. From here, one thing comes in our mind. That is, we are always asked to grow more and more plants or more and more trees. Why? Because the roots of these plants, they help to hold the soil there and they do not let it go or move away or washed away by wind or water, etc. In some plants, roots store food such as in carrot or radish. That was modified roots. Next is stem. Now what is stem? It is the part of the plant that grows above the ground. The functions: it provides support to the plant above the ground. It helps the plant to stand upright. It transports water and mineral from the roots. Roots have the function to absorb the water and nutrients. And the water and nutrients which are absorbed by the roots, then they are transported to various parts of the plant with the help of stem. Some stems also store food, like in case of sugarcane, potato, etc. And these are also called modified stems because they have an additional function to perform. Potato is an underground stem. Leaf. Leaf, in plural, they are called leaves. They are generally green in color. And why green in color? Because they consist of a pigment or a chemical substance which is called chlorophyll. Now, why chlorophyll is important? Because it helps the leaves to prepare the food. We'll discuss about it. Let's look at the structure of leaf first. The flat structure of the leaf is called leaf blade or leaf lamina. It has veins in it. The outer surface, it has a waxy coating that protects the leaf from water and other substances. Now, functions. Leaves are known as kitchen of the plants. Why? What do we do in our kitchen? We prepare food. We prepare our meals in the kitchen. So similarly, the food for the plants is prepared in the leaves. That is why leaves are known as kitchen of the plants. And the process through which the food is prepared is called photosynthesis. Leaves, they have tiny pore-like structures which are called stomata. So try doing it. Take a leaf, observe on the back side, you will observe tiny pores. These are known as stomata. Now what does stomata do? They help in exchange of gases. The carbon dioxide is taken in and oxygen gas is given out. In human beings, the process is just reverse. We take in oxygen and we release carbon dioxide. But leaves, they take in carbon dioxide and oxygen gas is released. Some leaves store food like mint, cabbage and spinach. Next is photosynthesis. Now what is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is the process by which plants make their own food. Photo means light, synthesis means preparation. The process in which the food is being prepared by the plants in the presence of light is known as photosynthesis. We'll understand this mechanism. First of all, what happens for preparation of food? We need some raw materials or ingredients. Like for the preparation of kheer, we need rice, we need milk, we need sugar. Similarly, for the preparation of food by the plants, certain raw materials or certain ingredients, we can say, are required. These are water and carbon dioxide and light. Now, from where does these different things are obtained? The plant draws up water from the roots. Then the CO2 is absorbed through leaves because leaves have stomata which help in to take in carbon dioxide. Then what does the leaves do? They trap the energy from the sunlight. And we have discussed that leaves contain a pigment which is called chlorophyll. So what happens? That the plant uses this energy of sunlight. The pigment chlorophyll, what does it do? It converts that sunlight into, it traps the sunlight and then it helps us to prepare, it helps in the production of food by the plants. And the food produced is in the form of sugar, and the food which is produced in the leaves is transported to various parts of the plant. Now, plants are divided into different categories. Different types of plants are there. Number one is herb. Now, what are herbs? Herbs are the plants which are having green and soft stem, like rosemary, mint. Climbers, as the name itself says, Climbers are the plants with weak stems. They cannot stand upright on their own. So they need support. That is why they are called climbers. Like example, common example which you might have seen in your homes itself. These are money plant and grapevine. Third is creepers. Creepers are the plant which crawl in the ground. Again, they cannot stand upright. So these are the plants that have weak stem. They spread on the ground like pumpkin and watermelon. Shrubs. Shrubs are the plants which have hard and woody stem, but they are not trees. They are comparatively small in size. Example, rose and jasmine. And last category is trees. These are the plants which are having strong, thick, woody stem. And example, apple tree, cherry tree, and so many more. Let's take a quick look at the things we have studied today. First, plants. They are known as producers of food because they are the ones which produces food in the form of sugars. And the other organisms, they take in this food directly or indirectly. The main parts of the plant are roots, stem, leaves, flowers, fruits and seeds. The roots of the plant, they absorb the water and minerals from the soil, holds the soil together and in some cases stores food in its roots. The stem of the plants supports it. It carries water and nutrients from roots to the leaves and leaves. These are also known as kitchen of the cell as they prepare their food. Now here is a question for you, that is, write in your own words what would happen if there are no plants on the earth. This work you need to do in your rough notebook. That's all for today. Thank you so much.